greatest lie I was ever told is that hard work will make you successful.
That's a damn lie and you know it!
It's just not true. Hard work is absolutely cost of entry to anything worth achieving. But the cemetery of dead businesses is filled with people who worked really hard and never realized their dreams. The most successful people in the world pair hard work with smart work. The good news is, if you're watching this, you're probably a CrossFitter, and even more likely that you're a CrossFit affiliate owner. That means you already know how to work hard, so congrats on having 50% of the equation already. The smart work part is where most of us fall short. Not because we aren't smart, but simply because we don't have enough information. Something I learned years ago is that most of our fears are rooted in the lack of information.
What the f is this? I don't know.
This is where all the sleepless nights, the panic emails, and the jumping through hoops comes from. And what's the number one indicator that you don't have enough information? It's that you react to everything. Reacting to everything that shows up to your doorstep is a guaranteed recipe for failure in virtually any business. For so many years, I just ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, convincing myself that if I just cared a little more and worked a little harder, all of my problems would be whisked away by a magical entrepreneur fairy.
Get over here!
And to my great shock, that fairy never came. Pros in any industry never react. They make everyone and everything react to them. They control their direction, speed, and action so that the environment bends to them. Now, you don't just become a pro at something overnight. It's a process just like everything else. I'm gonna walk you through 2 key tools that we've helped over 500 affiliates build in order to get out of the never-ending booby trap of being reactive. Now, if you know how to write a simple class lesson plan, you are already on your way to avoiding the burnout of a reactive box owner. The reason you write a lesson plan is so that you know where you need to be and at what time. You need to start the workout at 33 minutes. You want at least 8 minutes for your cooldown. You need to work on some squat mechanics for the workout that day. How would you be able to do all of that without a plan? You wouldn't. You would just be stuck trying to cater to everything for every single person with no context or preparation. And your class would be an absolute disaster. No self-respecting coach would fancy themselves a professional and walk into a class without a plan. My dad was a high school coach for 39 years, and he just recently threw away almost 30 years of practice plans he had saved. That planning probably had a lot to do with him making the Louisiana High School Basketball Hall of Fame. So we can all agree on lesson plans being a good idea and a necessity. Now, why in the name of Danielle Brandon would you run your business with no plan? That is insane, and she would not approve. Well, as an affiliate owner, I'll tell you why me and tons of other people did this for so long, and many others still do. We don't take the time to stop and regroup. Take a page out of Jocko's book, Extreme Ownership, to help fix this. Stop, look around, and make a decision. And this is a really key component. You have to stop. I promise the affiliate will not fall apart if you just push everything off to the side for a week and get your plan together. So here's a simple process to lay out your year and start getting organized so you can focus your time and energy. Just like you would in a lesson plan, I want you to start with month 1 and run it all the way out to month 12. You don't even need to wait till January. Just start with this month and run it all the way out 12 months from now. Now you're gonna look at the months and identify your pillar events. These are staple events on your calendar that happen every single year like clockwork. And somehow, they still surprise us. These are things like the Open, Murph, and your gym's anniversary, and maybe your holiday party. Yes, Murph happens every year at the same time. I know I'm shocked too. Now, you should have 3 or 4 big events on the calendar. That means an event every 90 days, and most of these have a decent amount of planning that goes along with them. Now, look at any other small events that you might have in the year, like a competition, a local fundraiser, or something like Member Appreciation Week. At this point, you probably have 6 to 8 events on your calendar, and I'll be the first one to tell you that is more than enough. When you're planning out your year, more isn't better, better is better. Imagine if you just ran all the same events that you did last year, but you promoted them way ahead of time, you had your shirts ready, and you sold out all of your RSVP spots. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course it would. The beauty of this is if you have this skeleton plan, all of the other details just automatically fall into place. You know when you need to email people to RSVP, you know when you have to get designs ready for your shirts, and you know when programming needs to be done for that competition that you're holding. And this becomes your priority list when you sit down and you do your 30, 60, 90 review. The 30, 60, 90 review is when you sit down each week and you look at what is coming up in the next 30, 60, and 90 days, and you start lining up the things that need to happen well in advance in order to have a killer event that is smooth and stress-free. And yes, that is possible.
What? No way.
And we have affiliates who are throwing banger events all throughout the year. Speaking of events, do you guys remember raves from the 90s? Drug parties in warehouses. That was wild. Now, if you want to get surgical with this, we need to add an extra layer and start using some of the data to tell us more about where we should be putting certain events in the year. Does your Bring a Friend week perform better in March or in April? Stop guessing and help your future self.
Help me help you.
This is where the good old logbook comes into play. If a member asks you every day what weight they should use, well, first you would make them eat chalk.
Eat the chalk!
And then you would ask them to see their logbook. Because what we did last month will help us inform what we should do today. And that is where lag metrics come into play. If you've watched any of our content, you know how I feel about lag metrics. They are absolutely inferior to lead metrics, just like low bar back squatting is inferior to high bar back squatting. I just like to see enraged people argue on the internet. You should have a running logbook of how your affiliate operates. You can use an Excel spreadsheet if you've got a CRM that does this, or you just want to write it down on a piece of paper, that's fine. But please listen to me. If you plan out your next year without looking at last year, understand that you are ignoring absolutely everything that we know about anything. Why would we do all of that work and not use the information somehow?
What does that have to do with anything?
No. He's got a point.
We want to look at different times throughout the year to see when we can plan certain events so they can work to our advantage. There are at least 2 months in every year every affiliate dreads because they see a dip in membership. And there are several trends where we see upticks. What should we do? I don't know, maybe plan to beat those downtrends with some sort of promotion and do the same to even have bigger upswings when we already know that we're gonna get some sort of good season momentum. Does anyone here want less momentum? Listen, the whole idea that we just have to lay down and just take whatever the world throws at us is as played out as wearing 5-fingered shoes. That is what you do if you want to play JV ball. When you decide to be a pro, you stop reacting to every idea and thought that lands on your desk. You start to become proactive and you plan your year out to line it up with your priorities and smash your goals like Tia Toomey on the worldwide leaderboard. When you stop reacting and you start planning, this actually gets really fun. And if we aren't having fun, then what are we even doing? You set out to open your gym so you could change lives, and it's hard work. But that hard work doesn't have to be miserable. If you want help getting a plan in place, book a call with the link somewhere around this video. It will help you get things sorted out so you can stop getting beat up by the good idea fairy. I'll talk to you soon.